Hey guys, Tyrant here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossing in the Woods, playing for you today. Spawning in the north we have Lyconious again. Playing as the Soviet Union in his loadout as Partisans, Guard Motor Coordination and Shock Rifle Frontline. In the south we have RedxWings playing as Austria. In his loadout is German Mechanized Encirclement and Jaeger Infantry, so we probably have a look at RedxWings' build already. Hasn't gone for his tier 1 and he's making multiple machine guns. So he's already off to one of his usual unconventional starts. This is from the best of 1 round still for ESL Go For Cup number 5 North America. This is, I believe this is the last best of 1 round though.
The Maschinengewehr team is awaiting orders.
So we've got 2 MGs and then into another Pioneer for RedxWings. It's hard to know what he's going to go for. We see a Maxim coming out for Lyconious after a conscript.
Pioneers reporting objective captured.
Maxim's still good against Austria as well.
A squad of pioneers has arrived.
I mean, you can go mortars and snipers as Austria but to counter them, but the models on the Maxim crew are so cheap to reinforce, it kind of doesn't matter that much. They suffer a bit of bleed, and it's so hard to push into multiple machine guns, as anyone from any faction will be able to attest to. Okay, so now RedxWings using his second Pioneer to build his tier 1. What does he have in build since he's got Stormtrooper? Unusual built in there, 2% accuracy and 3% faster movement speed. Maybe tipping his hand, going for encirclement. Now he's going for a Grenadier, so that's good. He will have access to a Panzerfaust if he needs it. Oh, we see Maxim getting caught out here by this MG42. Making a dash for the door of this garrison here. Can he make it? He does. Pioneers have to get out of there. Not much they can do there. Same time, Pioneers try and push here, but Combat Engineers behind heavy cover, shutting that down. MG42 coming for some support. Here comes some conscripts as well. There's the second Maxim. Second Maxim doing some capping back here, so I think this engagement is going to go well for RedxWings. We see a mortar now coming out from Lyconious, so perhaps knowing that RedxWings has gone for 2 machine guns, trying to counter that with the mortar now. I'm not sure about this using this as heavy cover. I think that may be inside the range, the minimum range, and that cover may not be effective from there. I mean, Combat Engineers do rubbish damage, but they are doing pretty good damage to that Pioneer squad there. MG42 and Maxim battling it out at long range. Looks like Maxim focusing on that Pioneer squad though. Combat Engineers going to lose control of this garrison shortly. They're getting extremely low. Can't really see their health because of their garrison icon kind of covering it. But they must be on death's door. Ooh, 1 man left. Gets away though. Very, very lucky. MG42 has been doing a pretty good job though of preventing Lyconious' advance on this side. Now he's bringing up his Maxim. And head to head, usually the Maxim will win against the MG42 because it does have, of course, 6 men to the MG42's 4, so got a bigger health pool. And now with the mortar joining in on the fun, definitely going to win this engagement. First hit from that mortar, extremely effective. Last year mortar not quite getting the same amount of work done. MG42 retreating there and conscripts holding their tail with Ura, but this Maxim in big trouble here now. Getting shredded. Gunner dies, has to be picked up again, but he gets away. MG42 has to reposition as these conscripts try to flank. We've got Minesweeper on this Pioneer squad. Oh, combat engines coming on the rear, and this squad's in heavy cover. They're going to take a lot of damage from this combat engineer squad. Looks like he's probably going to have to retreat that. Yep, there it goes. Still, RedxWings doing a pretty good job of holding on to this side of the map here. As we can see here, he's got most of his important points apart from a munitions point. So really, he's off to a pretty good start here. Often, when you're up against Maxims, you can lose control of your cut-off all fuel quite easily. But it seems like his double machine gun is kind of shutting down the double machine gun from Lyconious. And in these cases, I'd usually suggest building another machine gun, but you know, not sure what Lyconious' plan did. And this is a good map for RedxWings because Partisans don't have many buildings to spawn from, so you can't really flank these MG42s with Partisans. This situation, maybe Lyconious would have been better served going for guard motor, going for that heavy mortar instead of the regular Soviet PM41. Okay, so RedxWings somehow managed to get over to Lyconious' fuel and managed to cap that briefly, so he's going to get a bit of double income, but at the same time Combat Engineer's making a similar play for his fuel. Probably pop down a mine here. We see some shock troops coming up from Lyconious. Usually I would not advocate going for shock troops on such a wide open map such as Crossing in the Woods. Do not recommend going for shock troops on this map. I feel like he's would have been better served going for guard motor coordination, honestly. And if you did see my game from ESL and the General's Gentleman broadcast, you know it worked quite effectively against me.
The enemy is taking our territory.
On the right. Help the others first. Taking fire. Keep your heads down.
It's that heavy mortar, man, that can one-shot four-man squads. Rarely happens, but also, even if it doesn't one-shot the squad, sometimes they'll leave it on one man with an extremely low amount of health left, and
The enemy is attempting to steal
the
our
nearby
sector.
troops can follow up with the wipe, and that can really just cause you so much trouble as Austere. You need to keep hold of those grenadiers with their veherency
Enemy has driven a
for them
wedge
to
in
be
our line.
most effective. Especially if you upgrade your greens with LMGs, losing them is just devastating. So as we can see from the map, everything's cut off and without a fuel from either side, so he's in a bit of trouble here. Shock Troop running straight for the cutoff as well. These MGs did have to retreat, both of them, so oh, this could be trouble. Shock Troop grenade coming in. Oh, wipes that mortar one shot there, but luckily base defense is covering that mortar. Shock Troops cannot steal it. Probably should have popped smoke, but actually it doesn't matter now. So mortar is safe there, it can be recrewed, probably going to be done so by this Pioneer squad, as they are the cheapest to reinforce at 25 compared to Grenadiers. Oh, here we go, RedxWings has selected German mechanized. Good to see. We know that Lyconious has been using this quite a lot, mainly because of the spotting scope and the command tank. Maybe we'll see the mechanized Grenadier group. This is not as effective against Maxims as the one from Mechanized Assault. The other mechanized with the P-Greens, which is a lot better at wiping Maxims. Well, we can see RedxWings has slowly, inch by inch, lost control of the map. He's having trouble pushing out, mainly because of these Maxims. That mortar raining down on his positions, and his mortar trying to return in kind, but having lost it, being decrewed by that shock troop grenade, losing its veterancy, that's a big issue with it. We need it to be at Vet 2 to get maximum effectiveness, and of course Vet 3 having the extra ranges also a bonus. But yeah, Vet 2 is where you want to be with the austere mortar. Okay, here comes the LMG half track. Grenadier squad with the LMG in it. Oh, nice hit by the mortar there. This could be a dead Maxim. And the shock troops largely ineffective against the squad on the half track here. Oh, Maxim's gonna go down here, I think. Yep, there it goes. Shock troops, conscripts are trying to stop the cap from it, but cannot do so. Doesn't have AT grenades yet. Is upgrading for his HQ. It is now, but too late. And just in the nick of time, just before the T-70 arrives, RedxWings gets a good win there, stealing the Maxim. But just as quickly, he could lose it here to this T-70. Needs to retreat that one. Get it? There we go. Just making fun of the machine there. He said that one a lot during his ESL broadcast. Okay, so Maxim does get decrewed, but quite close to the base of RedxWings, so you can recrew that easily. And Pack was there in a good position to repel that T-70. Did pop the crew repair on that. It'll be close to full health, but not quite. I believe the crew repair heals 98 damage. So say Panzerfaust does 100. So it won't quite heal all the damage from Panzerfaust, and Panzer Schreck does 120. So I'm curious as to how much damage it deals, and Pack Shot does 160. So there you go. Okay, that's back up to full health. Probably needs to get that back into the fight. RedxWings down about 200 VPs now. He needs to make some big plays. He pops his flamethrower squad into the half track. He says he's going to clear this other Maxim. He does. T-70 too far away. Spent too long at full health and not in combat. And second Maxim goes down. This is big trouble. And this is where things can start to snowball out of control for the Soviet player. Once you lose one Maxim, you're in trouble. Losing two Maxims, you're in dire straits. So now RedxWings has a huge army. Look at the amount of icons on his side in comparison to Lyconious, and that alone should tell you that RedxWings is in a good spot right here. Nice pack positioning, forcing away that T-70, and now RedxWings poised to make a big push and gain a lot of territory here. Looks like he's pushing his greens forward, trying to put some pressure onto that Soviet mortar. He uses a rifle grenade there. T-70 is in a good spot though. Oh, this green squad's getting mighty low. Oh, look at that last shot. That green on a sliver of health. But the pack gets a long range shot on the T-70. That was a very daring play by Lyconious to bring it in on half health against the pack, which was nearby. He had sighted that because he had his combat engineers right here, so he should have known that that was a very risky play to make. Down goes the T-70, and RedxWings, all of a sudden, he's in a much better position with two Maxims. He's now got 4 machine guns. And T-70 down, RedxWings is in such a good position right now. I wonder if he's going to try tech, or just save until he gets to 9 command points for the P4 command tank. Nice sweeping there by RedxWings. He knew that a combat engineer was here for a long period of time. Brings his sweeper in there first, kills that demo. Oh, is he going to pick up this squad on retreat with this flamethrower? He does! And this mechanized half-track has been the MVP of this game. This thing, clearing Maxims left and right, now killing a combat engineer. Somehow, I mean, I was doubtful when he fielded this, but somehow this thing is wiping left, right and center, and you do have to be very careful because, as you saw, the window between it coming out and the T-70 coming out very short, especially if you're on the back foot and your opponent has had most of the map control. So yeah, you have to get while the getting's good when it comes to this. You have to call it in as soon as you hit 3 CPs and make the most of that brief window before that T70 comes out. If your opponent has a quad, just avoid. But yeah, very effective at getting around the flank of the Maxim, and he's been working miracles with it so far. Also, you can pop a sweeper squad in it and have a nimble vehicle to detect mines. It's another little trick you can do with it. Haven't seen anybody do that for a long time, in fact. Oh, okay, we got a Telemine going down here, and Lyconious is going to be very vulnerable for a Telemine, having gone for 2 flamethrowers again. Same as he did against Vindicare. So that does leave him very exposed to these tellers, and but maybe that's going to be spotted. In fact, it is by this comm engineer. So that is going to have to be stopped. But now that does put the thought into Lyconious' mind. Well, are there any other telemines? Do I have to make a 3rd comm engineer squad just to try and sweep for telemines? And that doubt is all you need for it to be effective. Make your opponent play more cautiously with his light vehicles. So it looks like Lyconious going for that 2nd T70. He's just going to wait until he can get to the IS-2 from here. Still about 5 command points away from that, and RedxWings getting pretty close to his P4 command tank. Once he gets that, this T70 will not have much to work on. And this is perhaps where going for guard mode would have been the better choice. Would have had access to the guards, better at long range. And the shock troops also being able to build the T-34-85 would have been much more effective against the command tank, rather than having to wait that extra 5 command points until he gets to the IS-2. Okay, so 2 packs now from RedxWings, so this T-70 is liable to get killed in 1 volley from these 2, so Lyconious really in trouble now, and this is where the Katyusha would come in handy. And we saw him go for 2 Katyushas against Vindicare earlier, and he should probably try and repeat that. RedxWings having 4 machine guns, 2 packs and a mortar should be extremely vulnerable to a Katyusha. And it would be a real shame if Lyconious just tried to save for the IS-2 instead. Whilst he waits for that required amount of command points, he could easily lose control of this game, and he is inch by inch doing exactly that. See, RedxWings now in control of the slight majority of the map, putting down some mines. See a Zis coming out for Lyconious now, and a KV-8. Okay, this is an interesting choice. Daring play here by Lyconious, going for a KV-8. He's up against 2 packs, perhaps Telemites. He knows that RedxWings tried to put one down before. He's going for the KV-8. I think the Katyusha would have been the safer choice. Here we go, KV-8 on the field, trying to roast down this Gren on retreat here. Ooh, we got a Telemine going down here, but it looks like he'll have to abort mission. KV-8 rolls in. Here comes the P4 command tank, and the pack's in a pretty good spot. This one at Vet 1 could activate target weak point here. No, he switched to the P-shooter, the 45mm gun on his KV-8. He's taking heavy damage on the rear armor. Oh, and down goes the KV-8 immediately. Huge loss there, and as I was saying, it's such a big risk going for that KV-8 because now he's so far behind on fuel. Won't have enough fuel by the time 13 CPs roll around, and ultimately he got nothing for that. Loses his T-34 as well now to the P4 command tank, and very late to react with his Zis. He's too busy trying to micro his 2 tanks there, so he's not going to get anything in return. So 2 vehicles down for Lyconious. He's lost his Maxims, he's lost his combat engineers. He is in rough shape right now. And yeah, I think not going for that Katyusha there, the mistake, the Katyusha, the much safer play. You don't have to run into range of a pack to effectively harass your opponent's infantry. Oh, RedxWings making use of the smoke bombs there, and it's kind of cheeky. That actually can be used as an unorthodox scouting plane, because it does give you brief line of sight as that plane flies through. So it's only 40 munitions, so kind of a cheeky scouting run as well as smoke bombs can be good. Oh, mortar there knocks out that two-man con squad. So Lyconious now on the ropes. See his army size 34 to RedxWings 85. He's fielded himself a fresh squad of shock troops. But I mean, running into 4 machine guns, even with the smoke grenade, he's going to have a very hard time with things. Not to mention the P4 command tank. This thing's pretty good against infantry, so it may bleed quite a lot from those shock troops. Here we go, P4 command tank now coming forwards. Putting some damage onto these combat engineers. Lyconious is on the ropes here. I'm not sure what he's going to go for next. But some more smoke bombs coming in here. Perhaps scouting the way forward. Oh! Runs over a mine and it kills a whole squad in that half track. Whoopsie daisy. He's making a daring play though, going after the Zis. Down goes the half track, but the Zis is in big trouble from the P4 command tank. P4 command tank decides to disengage. There's no real issues with it here though. There's no conscripts nearby for AT grenades, but perhaps he's worried about running over another mine if he tries to flank the Zis, so he decides to disengage there. But still, Lyconious, he keeps losing territory inch by inch. Now suffering, well, about to be suffering under a triple cap as this Maxim starts to cap the left-hand VP. He's about to lose control of his other fuel point. So what's he going to do from here? He could field himself another KV8 shortly. I don't know if he can afford to save the IS-2, especially without control of either fuel point. May have to go for, I mean, even going for another. This is a terrible idea because RedxWings has stolen one of his mortars, so under double mortar fire he's not going to be able to keep control of his team weapons. So this is what happens if you lose control of your team weapons. The game can rapidly get out of hand, and this is one of the weaknesses of going for the maximum spam as Soviets. Though I suppose, Lyconious, I'm not going to accuse him of going maximum spam. I think he only made 2 at a time. Then he switched in after 2, he made a mortar. He did obviously rebuild a maximum, but 2 is a reasonable number. Not like Von Ivan's 5 that he goes for on the regular. Shock troops get onto the flank of this MG42, forcing that back. You do see that RedxWings did end up putting down a telemine here, so he is somewhat protected from vehicles on this flank. Now shock troops going after this mortar. Runs into this Gren squad. Looks like they're going to run for the garrison. No, just going to take a lot of damage. Here comes the P4 command tank. Shock troops get shut down. Where is the Zis? He has gone for the second Zis gun. Zis gun now rotating. And this is where you should be on top of things. You have sent your shock troops over to this side. You should know that your opponent is going to be bringing in his vehicle to deal with the shock troops, because there's not much else that is effective against shock troops. So you should have your Zis gun in a good position in preparation for that rotation. And if he had done so, he probably would have got 1 or 2 extra shots off onto that P4 command tank. So that's one thing, you have to be aware of what you're doing and what your opponent will do to counter that, and position your team weapons accordingly for optimum results. At the very least, he did have his Zis in a central position, so it could quickly rotate to either side, but down goes his mortar. It's like double mortars are too powerful against his lone Soviet mortar. Also, he's going to have trouble in their head-to-head mortar wars, because even though Austrian mortars only have 4 men with that P4 command tank order, they do have that health bonus, so makes them that much more durable. Okay, we have incendiary artillery being dropped here. Oh, the spread is just horrific. He cast it over here, and look at it, mostly on the trees there. Unlucky scatter there for Lyconious. And really not for much there. Machine gun easily got out, and so did the mortars. RedxWings about to set up a triple cap, and we're pretty much level pegging in terms of VPs. Lyconious is trying to save up for that IS-2. Getting pretty close in terms of fuel to that right now, but I mean, its current manpower income still about 3 minutes away from that, and I mean, that's not accounting for the amount of reinforcement he's got to do between there, so 4 minutes time most likely before he can get to his IS-2, and it's going to be too long. It's too long. Can't afford to wait that long. In the meantime, I imagine RedxWings is yeah, he has indeed ticked all the way to tier 4. He's got his tier 4 tech structure down, so he may be thinking about going for a Panther in expectation that the IS-2 is going to be coming out, and Panther vs IS-2 is a decent matchup. IS-2 usually wins slightly, but that P4 command tank aura giving the Panther the extra durability will definitely help matters.
We fight bravely for the Reich. The enemy is down to 200 points. The enemy is taking our territory.
Lyconious desperate to stop this triple cap, but at the same time he's suffering so much bleed from the mortar machine gun combos of RedxWings. He's just unable to gain any traction any side. I mean, look how many MGs there are covering just everywhere on the map. It's just chaos. Trying to push against this is just so daunting. 4 machine guns. And yeah, I mean, where it went wrong for Lyconious, I think going for this KV-8 instead of taking to tier 4 and bringing out a Katyusha. Really think that was his main mistake. If you know your opponent's got like 5 or 6 team weapons, rocket artillery should be your go-to, if possible.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
So yeah, Lyconious now has enough fuel for the IS-2, and he's desperately trying to save up his manpower. He hasn't been reinforcing his Zis guns to try and keep his manpower tax low, but also saving that manpower to get that IS-2 out a bit quicker. We see smoke pots coming out from the Soviet mortar trying to cover the cap in the center, but remember there are 2 Austrian mortars nearby. They can still rain death, they don't really need line of sight. There we go, smoke clears. And I don't think this Maxim can sit around here for much longer. In fact, he could lose this if he gets unlucky. Alright. Here we go, Panther from RedxWings, good choice. Chasing away those shock troops there. And, quite low, that's going to be a lot of manpower to reinforce that. That squad there. Here we go, he's got the requirements. Here comes the IS-2. Doesn't have enough to upgrade it with the Dishka, which is going to make it significantly worse against infantry. So now his only real way of coming back into this game will be if he catches this Panther out of position, which is going to be very hard because now RedxWings has upgraded that with the spotting scopes, which means when it's stationary, doubles its line of sight. So I believe most vehicles have 35 line of sight, and most tanks can shoot for 40 range, like most mediums, but Panther of course can shoot for 50. So So doubling its sight range when stationary, and we can see how far he can see. Oh, and he gets a stun shot off there, mainly because of the extra sight afforded to him by the Panther. There's a few choice hits on the IS-2 there, and come the smoke pots once again. Blocking off the vision for the Zis. And Panther's going to disengage there after taking one shot. But he inflicted more damage onto the IS-2 than the IS-2 did onto him, so should be able to be repaired quicker. So yeah, a lone squad of shock troops, 4-man trying to come around the side of this Maxim here. Probably will be successful as well. But he's not going to bother repairing the IS-2. He's coming charging head on. Target weak point has cooled down. This could be it. If he gets a target weak point here, IS-2 could go down. No, it doesn't do it. But IS-2 are on an extremely low amount of health. Pack does get cleared though. No more veterancy on that. Shock troops do get round the side of the Maxim. But 2 Maxims here, and they will pivot, shut down that shock troop plate. We have 2 combat engineers ready to repair the IS-2. Oh, maybe not. So it looks like it's about to go down.
They only have 10 points remaining.
What's the IS-2 doing? He's coming back in on... Well, I mean, I imagine that's one shot from death, but no, he calls the GG. And RedxWings takes this match. Interesting match here. We got to see the Mechanized Grenadier Group used to great effect from RedxWings, and the perils of losing your team weapons as Soviets. It can quickly snowball out of control. Also, Lyconious making a mistake going for the Caveat instead of taking for the Katyusha when his opponent had so many team weapons was another critical error. Anyway guys, I'll wrap on that. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye.